all, and a warm welcome to another exciting session of the PMCP webinar. Glad all of you could join here and contribute. So today we have our esteemed speaker, Mr. Vivek Prakash, who is going to walk us through the key changes which have been announced in our PMP curriculum. I won't steal the thunder from him. I will let him talk about all those subjects. But as usual, he will keep you engaged, and I hope it will benefit all of us here to understand the progress and the direction from PMI for all of us as certified project professionals or aspiring professionals in this world. As all of you know, Vivek comes with 35 years of experience in PMI in the project management space, and he has been a very veteran trainer in the PMI curriculum, and I believe he's the right person to guide us on these changes which have come through. Let's hand it over to Vivek to begin the session.
Okay. Thank you, Kalyan. And just to let you know that it is not me taking the entire session. Kalyan is also part of it. So I will take around, so it is like some kind of 40-60 or maybe 50-50, something like that. So 40 is mine and 60 will be the Kalyan. Okay, and you know Kalyan, right? So he's is more experienced than me and will definitely give you more insights in the in exams as well as the new trend we call it AI everywhere, right? So let's get started this. So good evening, everyone, and welcome you all this webinar for the first time attendees. Let me give you a little understanding about our PMCP programs. So PMCP is an initiative for project managers, a project managers club of Pune, as it's called. And the idea is that to make help project managers to gain better understanding, better knowledge, right? Support people in honing skills in project management, in getting certifications, getting their concept clear, and keeping them aware of current trends. And that is the last thing is what the prime objective today, right? It is primarily like initiative of PMwares, uh, Kgguruji, and the COEP Tech University. Okay, so today is keeping you people aware with the current trends. And what is the current trend is that recently PMI has released the new PMBOK, the PMBOK's next edition called, now it is an 8th edition. And they have suggested some changes, some to and fro kind of things, which we will see. And also one more announcement is that the PMP exam also see some changes. So they have issued a new exam content outline. Exam content outline is the outline on which PMP exam is based on. So many people have a little confusion that PMP exam is based on PMBOK, which is not the case. PMBOK is a reference book, but because it comes from PMI and exam also come from PMI, and therefore PMBOK largely tell you the philosophy of PMI and could be a primary guiding factor in designing PMP exam. So it's an important reference, especially for the PMP exam. But there is no direct connection as such, just to let you know. Many times people say, okay, now on which PMBOK this exam is based on. So on no PMBOK the exam is based on. Exam is based on exam content outline, which keep refining. And this time also it is refined. And this will be effective from 1st of July. So if you are taking an exam before 30th June, up to 30th June, you will be having the exam pattern as per the old EOC, ECO. And from 1st July, it will be new ECO, which like today, myself and Kalyan both will unfold the PMBOK as well as the PMP exam, and if we get time, then on AI as well. Okay, so let me bring this up. Before we start, let me have a little a simple poll with respect to your orientation towards the PMP exam, actually. So then we will start actually this. Okay. So just respond on this poll. Okay, please respond, everybody. 10 more seconds for you to respond on this. And I will end this poll in 10 seconds. So anybody who has not selected any option, please select it now. Okay, let me close this. I think people have responded. So, and I will definitely show it to you also. So we have a good spectrum. There are people who are already PMP certified. They want to know what changes are occurring and want to keep them abreast with the changes occurring. There are people who are looking for immediate, looking for this, and probably after this webinar, their intensity of preparation may increase or decrease depending upon how much change they actually look for. Later this year, probably you get some more understanding how to prepare for the exam for you. Currently, no plan. Okay, so we look forward that if you make a plan, and luckily everybody is aware of PMP exams, so PMBOK as such. So nobody is absolutely new. The purpose of the last option was if somebody is absolutely new, so we will give a little idea about the PMBOK and exam as well. Okay, so thank you very much. Let me stop this and come to my presentation. Okay. So what is on the agenda today is first we will talk about the changes in new PMBOK and how the things are shaping in project management era, because PMBOK is an important book and lot of standard like PMBOK itself is an American national standard, and lot of other standard including ISO take a lot of ideas and feed from PMBOK. So ultimately, for standard in the project management in the world are largely driven by this book, and that's why it become so important in project management area. Second, Kalyan will talk about the new exam content outline, and he will talk about the changes which are going to happen in this, and some minor changes in, or I don't think there will be much changes, and what kind of question types will be there. So that probably the people will be more eager that how the question will be asked. And if possible, we get some time, we will also look about the how AI is influencing the entire area, which again, the Kalyan will cover up. Okay, so let's move on. Whenever you have any question at any point of time, please put this into the chat box, and the one of us, either me or Kalyan, depending upon who is engaged with the presentation, we'll be looking at the chat box and we'll get the questions from there. So please feel free to put your questions. Do not hold them on you. Okay. Now, this is the outline of the changes. In 7th edition, there were 12 principles. They have been reduced to 6. Okay. So will it make it simple? Let's look at this. Okay. Second, that there were no processes altogether mentioned in 7th edition. Okay, so 7th edition in that way was revolutionized change or completely reformed from 6. And so there was processes are dropped, the 12 principles were introduced. Some performance domain were introduced, which were actually quite having a new flavor altogether. So it's very different from 6th. And if you look at 8th, you will find that this is the step going back towards the 6th edition. So you will find if some of you are familiar with 6th edition, you will find much similarity with the 6th edition, or you will see that we are moving towards 6th or trying to synchronize with that actually, right? So there were reaction with respect to the new changes in the 7th edition. Many people find it very difficult to comprehend that how things are changing. Looks like a lot of theoretical, practical things are missing. And because the processes are missing, there are no clear guidelines how to implement it. And therefore, now this time when they are coming out with the 8th edition, bringing it those things which were actually missed out from 6th edition to 7th edition, very important things have brought back, and processes is one of them. Then processes are back, then process groups are also back. Okay, but they are now called focus areas. The performance domains were 8 and now they are 7, but like I'm talking about 12 principles moving to 6 principles. I can say some are combined and become 6 kind of thing. But that's not the case with domains. Domains are thus what domains mentioned in 7th and what domains are mentioned in 8th are quite different. So 7th has 8 domains and 8th has 7 domains, but they are quite different actually. So I will not say they are something here and there done, but they are reformed basically. And then quite lovable or quite which things were making easy because the processes are back, and therefore their guidelines which are given by ITTO. If the people are not familiar with ITTO, it is called input output tools and technique. So many of you become nostalgic, or maybe or for new people who are not familiar with the tools and technique. Every process was having a diagram called was an input in the up to 6th edition. From edition 1 to 6th edition, every process was having one diagram. Have three blocks. One block was for input on the left hand side. One block was on the right hand side called output, and there was a middle block is to called tools and techniques. So this ITTO is back a little differently, not exactly the same, and not directly mapped to processes. So I feel there will be some challenges mapping with the process and the input output tools and techniques. Okay, but there are more concrete guidelines now on the ground for you. I think the 8th edition will be easier to implement than the 7th, comparing to 7th. Let's get into this. So what we are talking about, 6 principles. Adopt a holistic view. Holistic view means look the entire project as one integrated unit. If you touch one side, the entire thing will get disturbed. So it's not in isolation, you can disturb one part of it. So it is like a clock. You have seen the clock, the gear, how integrated the gears are there in a clock or in a watch. You will see that those things are like if even a small gear goes here and there, the clock either stops or telling you the wrong time. And the same thing is here. The message is very clear this, that the entire thing is integrated in one. There are interdependencies. If you disturb one area, maybe there quite possibly various other areas get disturbed, right? So take a holistic approach that when you are taking some steps, it is going to impact multiple aspects of a project. Second thing, focus on value. The PMI is for last couple of, let's say 5 to 10 years now, is continuously trying to focus more on value. So that was actually the base for 7th edition, that we are focusing more on value. And that's largely driven by the agile principles, that we will deliver first those things which are more valuable to the customer. So here also the focus is largely on that what is more valuable to the customer or to the stakeholder should be taken first. Then embed the quality in each and everything. So like many people say, agile is a thought process, is a thinking. The same way quality is also a thinking, a thought process. If the thought process of quality, then quality get embedded in each and everything. Then be an accountable leader. Now, earlier it was something like stewardship was mentioned there. And then, so now what we are talking about is more stewardship has got into leadership, ownership has got into an accountability kind of things. So something get merged, like 12 get merged into 6 as such. And then sustainable, new things have brought in here is the sustainability. Sustainability is something which we need to take care in everything, like more reuse, more recover, do not waste much, see that how much waste we can eliminate and how much environment we can protect in each and every project, and give more empowerment to the people, to the team members, create a culture which promote empowerment and collaboration. So these are the things which were actually this, and just to give a comparison, because not everybody may be remembering this. So just for a comparison, this was the older thing. So like respectful, cared stewardship got into leadership, right? A system interactions like complexity become part of the, if you see, it become part of the like a focusing on value and the quality part as such, right? And the risk response, if you see, you will not see in any leadership, in any principal risk. So risk is actually moved to the risk part. So it get into the performance domain. Then focus on value, quality, and embrace changes. All these are, embrace changes is also based on the value, actually, value add. So if you look at this now, so with this, what will happen? The things become more clear. It is much clear approach as such. Right? The 12 principles were too many and there are overlapping things and many of them are confusing. This is much discrete and easy to understand. And I think when it is easy to understand, easy to implement. So they drive the action. They drive the action. Action lies in the performance domain. So they drive. When you take action, you actually take care of each and every principle as such. Now, from where it comes? It comes from 3 mindsets. One is proactive mindset, second is ownership mindset, and third is the value-driven mindset. So 2 principles goes on the like in proactive, like holistic view and the quality, accountable leader, empower culture, largely on the people side. It's an ownership and the value delivery, and the sustainability is part of the value driven mindset. So it is decide on the 3 mindset and 6 things. And then and then comes to performance domain. Now, earlier the performance domains were very different. Earlier, the performance domains were very different. Let's look at them first, and then I will come to this. So earlier, the performance domain were like that: stakeholder, team, development approach, planning, project work, delivery, measurement, uncertainty. Now, these are a little difficult to comprehend, and people were not saying what to do with this planning. The team also planning, stakeholder is also planning, a little difficult. But now, what they did, they talk about governance, scope, schedule, finance, stakeholder, resources, and risk. If people who have experienced the sixth edition, they may remember they were used to be called knowledge areas. This is very much aligned to the knowledge areas. What you will find here, an additional one, is the governance. Couple of things like quality, etc., has moved into principles, uh, right? And to get that, the value delivery has got into the principles, and governance has come as a performance domain. So overarching actions, setting up the things, and other like scope, schedule, cost, finance. This time terminology is changed. The cost is reworded as finance. If you ask me, I somewhat disagree with this. Finance, in my opinion, is a little different than costing, but here, because when we see compare the what is there in the cost and what is there in the finance, there are hardly any change. So cost is renamed as finance. If you ask me, my opinion is that's not a correct thing, but probably you'll see it later. But now it is more aligned to knowledge areas, and therefore probably old people will find it easy to assimilate as such. Now, this is something which will give you a complete view of this. So how this everything start from the mindset. What is this proactive mindset? Ownership, right? And proactive mindset, ownership, right? This, you see, and then you come to 6 principles. So like holistic view, focus on the value, accountability leader, embed quality, sustainability, and then hierarchy over to them, which is guided by these principles. So the principle are guided by mindset, and the domain performance domain are guided by the principles. And these performance domains are stakeholder, resources, governance, scope, schedule, finance. Right. So this is how the everything is integrated in PMBOK. Now, if you go to PMBOK, you will find 2 areas like standard and the PMBOK guide. So standards will largely define the mindset and principle, while the performance domains will be largely defined by the PMBOK guide. Now, one more thing is back is the initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, control, and closing. It was absent in the seventh edition, but ultimately people figured out, irrespective of what methodology, what development approach you take, ultimately these things lies. Everything has to be initiated, to be planned, to be executed, monitoring, control, and closing, and therefore it is again back and as a focus area. So now they are called focus areas. Now, how will it make a difference from process group to focus areas? I don't know, but because processes are not grouped into these, therefore quite possible name change will actually remove this psychological barrier. So processes are again introduced. I will introduce you with the processes. 40 processes are there. Earlier, when if you go to the PMBOK 6, it was 49 processes. So a little less processes, good. And with ITTO and little lighter side, right? More how to, which was missing in the seventh edition, is like a more a guidance, a very high level guidance. like a steering committee meeting, which does not give you any ground instruction what to do. But now you have more ground instruction how to do it through processes and ITTO kind of things. And so it will become much easier for project manager, also the PMO, and because the governance is also part of the performance domain, the even much better instructions for governance and easy to implement in that sense. Now look at this. This is probably we can see little more on that side. So this is like on the left hand side, the vertically, if you see this, this is performance domain, right? And these are the focus areas. Now it is quite similar to or almost similar to what is there in the 6th edition, right? And somewhere, if the terminology is not changed, you may look like a copy paste kind of thing from 6th edition. So, but I will say when I read 7th edition, I found myself lost somewhere and don't know in which direction to go. There was no, I was looking for the gate to come out from that all confusions, and I will found how to do this, how we going to implement this. But when I see all this, I see it is much more better guidance. Even despite the 7th edition in the picture, let me tell you, the exam did not change much. So it was continue to be like that. Despite 7th edition having a very different perspective, exam was continue to be same. And our approach to training was by and large still the same. We were teaching people the same processes. So when we see it back, we find ourselves more aligned now. Earlier, we were finding a little guilty that we are not aligning and we are still using the method, but that's what we found more practical. But luckily, and good thing that PMBOK, PMI is also found it more practical this way and come back. So it actually endorses our view that we stick to our approach for training people in process wise as such. Okay, so these are the processes. If you have seen sixth edition, you will find it somewhat in many places absolutely copy paste, but not everything, because the performance domains are not exactly same as the knowledge areas. There are 10 knowledge areas here, only 7 performance domain, and therefore things are a little different. So what you are seeing on the first line, that is called that is the governance part, is largely was earlier it was called integration management actually, right? It was the governance was like this part was part of the integration management. So if you look at this, the cost part is also same. Only thing is that it is name is different, and stakeholders also look quite similar. Risk part is also quite similar. Resources part is also quite same. So it is quite obvious that it will be same, not be very different, because ultimately they found that that approach was better and therefore falling back. So you will find a lot of similarities, and I will see that when you read PMBOK guide 8th edition, you will find it easy to comprehend and implement. Now let's look at this. So what you will get, little more clear terminology, and especially for the person like me and maybe Kalyan, or of other people like of our age, when we were talking about, we did PMP certification when it was 2nd or 3rd edition, and we get after that couple of repetitions, so of up to sixth edition, we were actually quite used to this method, and we found little weird. The person who read directly 7th edition may not find it that weird, but well, for us it was quite difficult. So we find a little comfort in now in the next and find it is more clear. Now ITTO come back, so you have better tools in your hand, and process-wise, there are tools in hand, and more practical examples, templates are given, better guidance, and there's a lot of focus on tailoring, which I like. So there's a lot of the focus on tailoring was earlier also, but this time also they have come more emphasizing on tailoring, and it is really very important. If you start a project and you are not tailoring the process as per your project characteristics, then your team members, your team will end up doing lot of stupid work and lot of wastage of time actually, and money, and comfort and everything. So tailoring is very, very important. Tailoring is like you get the a path and you are paving it with the damper so that it becomes smooth to run. If you do not pave the damper on the road, what will happen? Your drive is very rumbling, little ups and down all the time. So tailoring will make the driving path very smooth. And therefore, tailoring is very, very important. People should focus on before you start moving on the road, let's make it smooth. And that's why, so read the tailoring part of in PMBOK as for sure. Now let's look at some comparison. What was the 6th edition, 7th edition, this? So 6th edition primarily we process based, and 8th edition now become a hybrid, principle and process based both. Right? 49 processes in PMBOK 6. There was none in the 7, and now there are 40. Right? 6th edition was having a lot of process. These process groups are back. You can call them process back because now the name is changed. You can call them focus area. But let me tell you, it doesn't make any difference. Nobody in PMP examination is going to ask you whether they are called process group or focus area. No such questions generally come. Questions on the exams are generally based on your knowledge of project management, not whether they are called focus area or process group. So there is no problem either side as such. PMBOK Guide 6, no principles. Actually, calling there is no principle is not right. But yes, separately no documented principle per se. 12 in 7th edition, 6 are in 8th edition, which is good in my opinion. No domains. So domain, instead of domain, you can say knowledge areas. Right? And so there were 10 knowledge areas in this. So I will put 10 here and 7 in 8. So that way it is a little lighter on this. And ITTO, there are a lot of ITTO, there were a lot of process, every process is having. Here it is light because not every process having. This ITTO is largely a little, you will find a little confusing. I'm finding it a little confusing, still trying to comprehend. So something like initiating the project, this is ITTO look like. So input, output, and tools and techniques. This is initiation. And you will see integrate and align the project. So earlier, these all ITTO were bare for every process, but now they are not built on processes actually. Now, what on build on this mapping probably a bit confusing in my opinion. Plan sourcing strategy. Sourcing strategy means procurement. So there is one more terminology change. It's more called sourcing than procurement in this PMBOK. So procurement is more heavily called sourcing. And while there is no procurement performance domain as such, but you will see ITTO of the procurement. So, and manage project execution, that is. So it is neither on focus areas, nor on performance domain, nor on principles. So on what they are, this I also trying to comprehend. And if I able to, I will come back to you and tell you that, okay, how they're structured. Quality assurance, okay, and knowledge management. Where is the knowledge management? Where it is in principles? Is it in performance domain? Is it in focus areas? I need to search and let you know. Okay. Monitor and control, change management, generally part of the governance. So you will find, but why change management? Why not others? That's a question not to be asked. And then the closer part, right? So that's a focus area, you can say. A lot of input, a small output, a few tools and techniques. But that is how closer generally look like. So this is like, let me summarize this all together. Okay, so this was the sixth edition on the left hand side. Now, when they took out the processes from the sixth edition, when they go get into seventh edition, so left hand side is the seventh edition. So when they took away the process from there, they make another standard called a practice guide for processes. So which I put this in the middle, and now they come to here and make the structure for eighth edition. But you will find the principles are quite different. They are actually merged and moved here and there. My dear, just let me continue. Okay. And then the performance domain have been changed to new, which is more aligned to the knowledge areas, and now and the focus on tailoring. Then here there was a model, method, and artifacts. Now this is the tools and techniques, more focus on that. And this is what the summary of, or I will say, I will summarize that how the eighth edition looks like. I will suggest you to go through, read it, and it is indeed a very great book, and I'm pretty sure that you will get benefited. There will be some confusion. We can come back, you can ask questions, we can have another session where we can discuss your questions as such. Okay, so go ahead, read PMBOK. It will going to help you in implementation as well as in the exam also. And let us know if you have any questions, or what kind of questions come to your mind, what is getting clear, not clear, and probably we can have another sessions to better understand eighth edition. So this is what the guidelines is. Start with the principle, align the organization governance, tailor the process, use domains to guide deliveries, use tools and techniques, and measure continuously. Right. So this is my part is done. Okay.
Let's open it up for any questions if they have.
Yeah. So let me open up for some question if we have some, and then probably you can take over then.
Yeah. Audience, anybody wants to speak up, you are free.
You can speak up, you can write into the chat or whatsoever. No questions from my side till now. Okay. Everything understood, or still trying to comprehend what all this is actually?
I am feeling, sir, ki this will be much easier than the seventh edition.
Okay. Yeah. I also have the same opinion. In
And
fact,
sir, like this 35 PTU that we earned till date, so that can be carried out for this exam, or it need to be done by the June only?
no, 35 PDUs are permanent PDUs. They don't expire.
Oh, okay.
Nothing to do with the version of the exam or version of the PMBOK. Nothing to do with that.
And the charges will be different for like July onwards, or it will be same?
No charge revisions. No charge revisions. Only Mr. Trump will affect you. That probably the dollar price will increase, and your price will also increase in that manner.
Okay.
Yeah. So a couple of people have already posted which exam will be easier. Well, it's too
That is
early to
question
say
for
that.
you, Kalyan.
It's too early to talk about it now. But
Okay.
given what we have understood, The course content has not changed much from a questions and perspective. We will go through that first and let us discuss it at the end of it. Give me 15 minutes. Bear with me. We will walk you through that and then we will talk about it.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with the second one now. So once the background is set for you, you have seen the context that this is the guide and the content which you have to understand. Let's see what they have introduced in the ECO, the examination content, ECO content outline, exam content outline. Everybody has heard about this because from edition 6 they have already been publishing this ECO as a guidelines for all of you. So one big change which we notice is the encouragement given to people to look at AI, sustainability. So these are things which they are talking about. So that's one good big change. They are all keeping pace with the changes in the industry. PMI is also keeping pace with it. Then second observation from our end, this is all our observations here, is that the ECO for 8 and the project management body of knowledge for PMBOK version 8, they don't align exactly. There is a lot of difference there. So don't go with the assumption that you have learned everything reading the guide, so you are ready for it. No, because the guide is a guide as such. It's a guidance for you. What they are recommending you is to marriage that guide with your own work experiences, with your own experiences, real world experiences, and talk about best practices in project delivery. So that is the primary difference. If you see point 4, that's what it calls about, assesses the individual's capability to think critically and apply those practices based upon experience in leading and delivering projects. So the expectation is you should not only be theoretically good, understanding the concepts, also bring about uh, the combination of your experience on the job situations. This is how they are tailoring their question paper. So it's all about scenario based questions. So I'll come to that part which everybody is very eager to understand the different question types which they are talking about. So first let me give you the changes which they have done in the terms of distribution. 7th edition, people are all aware, they introduced 8% business element, 50% process area, focus areas, and 42% was around the people. So the triangle, if you see, the people skills, project managers skill set, which we talk about normally, is a triangle which we normally talk about. So remember the sessions which we all have normally. We say business skills, we say people skills, and we say process. So this is the distribution they had. Process 42, people had 50, and business had 8. Now they have changed this significantly for 8. For 8th version, they have reduced people to 33. They have taken away some from process also and moved to 41. And business has increased as to 26. So more equitable distribution across the 3 legs is what you would say. So if you remember, governance was heavily focused in the earlier story where Vivek was talking about integration, governance, and all about that. That is because your need to stay connected to your business, to stay connected to your environment, and deliver projects better. So, how do I add value to my projects? Only if I am staying current to the environment. If I am seeing the project is still delivering value to my stakeholders, is it still going to deliver at the end of the project the value which was promised? So, the focus on business has grown in the new edition. So this is important to remember. So that is a big change they have brought. There is only in the question types. That's all you would see. We'll see next what happens.
Just clarify a little bit. Earlier means current version. Current means effective from first July.
8th edition basically.
Yeah. Not let's say do not. I think PMBOK will make confusion. So yeah.
July, from July, let's call it.
First July.
That is better. Let's say July. So we have. Let me erase this stuff here so that it doesn't bother you while you're reading your things. I drew just to show the comparison for you. So more in detail, we are talking about how they interpret a domain, a task statement, and this is all picked up from the ECO document from PMI. So anybody is a member, you download, you will get it. So they talk about domain, people domain, for example. One of the tasks is ensuring knowledge transfer. So what are those things within knowledge transfer? Identify knowledge, gather knowledge, foster an environment to transfer. So that is that cycle we talk about. First is capture knowledge, uh, build that knowledge, then distribute, disseminate that knowledge amongst the organization. So like that, more focus has been given on all those processes. So I'm not going to read all of that for you, just to tell you what are those process coverage which they are talking about and the distribution around it. You can understand processes are very common, which all of us work with, based resource-based delivery, procurement, finance, quality, all of that stuff. In people, we're talking about managing conflict, lead manage projects, manage communications. In business side, more emphasis on the, you can see risk has come under the business category now. In the till sixth edition, we saw risk was also defined as a process group. One of the important processes was risk management. That has been moved into business. Now, if you think, you know, seriously, is it correct or not? Because I'm not talking about risk as a process. I'm talking about risk arising from the uh, environment, risk from the projects which I am executing. So that's why they have moved this, seen more value of risk being moved and connected with the business side of it. Because we always say risk comes from where? Risk comes from the external environment, risk comes from the internal environment. They are the assumptions and constraints on which you deliver your projects. So it is all about the environment. So it comes from the business side. Now on the eligibility criteria, there has been a change. Some of you may benefit from it. So we just wanted to call it out. The 60 months was already there. 36 months was already there. They introduced an intermediate layer now, 48 months. Now they are talking about that 48 months as in terms of certain levels here on the left side. I am not familiar with it because this is not used in the Indian context. Maybe some of you may be aware of it. You're free to check it up, and some of you may stand to benefit. Instead of looking for 5 years experience, you may fulfill it in 4 years experience. Possible. So that's what is important to understand and take care of this. Some that what I am thinking here is they are broadening the base. PMI wants more and more people to be part of their community. So they are aligning with the evolving education models. They have brought in some new uh, criteria available for people to be eligible. Interesting change here also has happened in the course criteria of 35 hours completion. If any of you hold a preliminary certificate or as early certification like CAPM, then you need to do only 12 hours. That is a good change which has come through. It's not mandatory for you to go through full 35. If you already a CAPM certified professional, you need to only complete 12 hours. So these are the advantages, some changes which they have brought in. They have also added a few more in terms of the uh, criteria there. China registered education partners have come and called out. And this GAC, these two are new, which has come out clearly. Called out specifically.
Kalyan, no,
Yeah.
not sure it is good or bad because earlier CAPM people were exempted from the training.
Uh, the reason I think is CAPM exam was earlier based primarily only on the PMBOK. So there was no experience linked to it. So now with CAPM having the commercial, the academic background or maybe the theoretical background, you gain that difference of 12 hours looking at the experience. How do I map it? So that is why this has been put into place. That's all. So much more options are there for you to catch up with those 35 hours. Then the reporting principle remains the same. The reporting of hours in terms of those months, whether it is 60 months, whether it is 48 months, whatever is relevant to you, you cannot double count the projects. That's all is being talked about here. The same rule applies as earlier. So you have to just count projects from a calendar perspective. So that's what they are talking, which is still the same. This has not changed. Now what has changed? Interesting. Examination structure. The structure is not changed. The time has changed by 10 minutes. If you know, if you remember, some of you, if you remember earlier, we used to have as 230 minutes total. We used to have 230 minutes as of now. So from July, the new exams when they come up, they have added 10 minutes more because the questions have also increased by 5. It was 180 questions. As of now, today, if somebody is appearing, it's only 180 questions. Now 5 questions have added, and therefore 10 minutes have been added to the total time. That's the only difference I notice here. All the breaks, everything is all the same, which used to be there. And the practice of giving a break after 60 questions, that still continues. So they have broken it up separately, not 60 questions. They have broken it up differently here by saying you complete one portion of it and then you do the next two portions. Say that they call it something different here. So I'll highlight it here. What is it called as? The terminology is slightly different. The first break happens after the case study thing. So this is what they call it as case study section. After the
There are
first
three sections basically.
Yeah.
There are 3 sections actually.
So then the second break happens somewhere in between the independent question portion. That's all they have called it out separately. This is all the differences. So nothing to worry. If anybody is preparing for the exams, don't worry about all of these. It's very similar, very straightforward.
One more thing. Currently, the exam, the break timing is up to 10 minutes.
Yeah, now
Now
it is
it is
restricted to
limited to 5 minutes.
5 minutes in the new starting July, not before.
Yeah.
So from July, this could be the change. That's all minor changes here by questions getting added. I would say it's also good for you. You get to score another 5 questions correctly. That's also the way to look at it. Positive way of looking at it. Instead of worrying that 5 more questions to be answered, I would say it gives me an opportunity to cover some things which I may get some. So now coming to the key areas, question types. So this is a new question type which they have announced called the case study or the scenario question. The challenge will be the questions will be large, will be multiple paragraphs as you can see on the left. So you need to be quick. You need to practice reading through the gist of the question quickly. So like Vivek used to say in our practice sessions, look at the question, what it is, then read the context. Maybe that will make it very easier for you to filter out what is the core the question is all about, what areas we should focus. So this is one new thing which they have introduced, new case studies scenarios. Then enhanced matching. Matching was already there, one type of questionnaire, enhanced. They have just enhanced it now, I think because of the CBT model, computer-based testing. The software has become much better, so they are using better graphics and all that stuff to do it. So that's the only difference. Here, they call it as graphic-based question, but I couldn't see the graphic in that example, what it is given. But I have just reproduced it as it is. I don't see any relation to it, but it could be interpretation of the graph for it. So visual information is given on the left side. It could be chart, diagram, or images. Then you read it, and this is what we have been training you earlier also. We always said that please look at the image, understand the context, and try to interpret what is it they are asking you to do. If you remember, I told you many times that some of our colleagues who have been there, part of our trainings, that don't memorize the formulae and all that. Understand how do I interpret it, what decision I should do as a decision maker. That's the similar scenario here. Is it about? This context is given to you on the left side. Read the context, read the picture, and say now what would be your steps to be done. What are your conclusions out of it? That is this kind of graphic based question. Then the more easier ones, which are already there for all of you familiar, multiple choice, single response, multiple response questions. That means a question may need more than one to be selected, one or more options. Like we used to give you 2 answers, select 3 out of the 5. So those kind of things. Those are pretty simple. Then there is something called as point and click. Now this is valid only on your computer-based test. If anybody is doing a handwritten exam, this may not be applicable for it. So here, click on the picture. That's what they are expecting. Point and click. So you'll have to click the correct areas on the picture. So this is how they are giving the example. First side, left side is the story. Right side is the enabled sections where your click will be registered. The best way to understand this is, let's say you are using an Acrobat form. An Acrobat form is generally provided with fillable, editable form, whereas you can fill in data at the specified area. So something similar here. You can register the answer on the screen itself. And matching. This is also something which you have done in the past. Nothing different. This is like a drag and drop, or you match the boxes left and left to right. So match the following, as we normally call it. So that's all the types of questions you would see around it. One more very common one which you would have already seen, pull down list. So you have to pick up from the pull down list, choose the right ones, and choose the correct options which are available. So these are, so you can see the variety of questions, the type of answers which they expect from you is getting better and better from a user perspective. On the CBT, that is the backend, tools are getting refined and moving better. So they are introducing some new things. That's all about the examination part of it. There's no challenge around it. Now let me take up some of your questions which people have posted while I was doing. Will the review training we had with you will still apply for the exam in July? Yes. The content does not change much. What has changed is the question types which you are talking about. So you may see from July these kind of question types coming. The content could be the same because what we talked about for you 5 minutes ago, it's a combination of process oriented and concepts. Both are now merged. It's an hybrid model which has come up now. So personally, I don't see a big change in the preparation side. It will remain the same for me because the knowledge is the same. The question answers, the scenario based things. If you remember all the case studies which we did, that was all setting it up for you. The case studies we all did, the assignments we did were all about this practically understanding, given the scenario, how would you react? What would be your response as a project manager? How would you take people along with you? So those were the similar questions is what you are seeing now, which is coming up. New types of questions which are coming. Now, some of you are worried about whether it will be difficult or not. Now tell me, having known the examination content and the changes which we talked about, do you think it will be difficult? If you ask me, it will not be difficult. It is not difficult. It is not different much. What they have changed, the risk area has moved into business. That's all. But the questions around risk are going to be the same. That is not going to change. Your your perception of risk is going to be holistic. Yes, that was expected right from the beginning. We have to take look at risk holistically, look at from the business standpoint, look at it from the stakeholder standpoint. Everything we will have to consider. So we have never stopped telling about that. This has always been there. So this session is to help you not to come across any surprises. We wanted to help you be aware of the changes which they are introducing and which you need to be there. Okay, good question. CAPM certified, any short 12-hour course? We have not yet planned for such courses right now because this is recently announced. This change has come in just recently. If you are CAPM certified, if you ask me, I would say do the full course. It will benefit you more rather than looking at doing it as a 12 hours. Because the experience you will get by doing those 36 hours is not limited to the theory part of it. It is about relating and sharing experiences with all others, all the larger group. And that will help you a lot in preparing for your exams and maybe even in your practical journey. That's what my take would be.
Yeah, I think I will also add to this. Though PMI is saying that you just need 12 hours of session things, that's just for a compliance purpose. Minimum you need 12 hours. But I think when we are going for the PMP exam or something like that, PMP exam is required considerable preparation as such in general. I feel I will suggest to the candidate for the PMP who are actually having CAPM, better go through entire program of 35 hours or whatever it is, instead of just focusing on 12 hours. That okay, I get 12 hours, so it's just not about the ticking that I am now complied with. So that's, do not go with that mindset that I have to comply with so that I can apply and then do. I think better go with the entire the full-fledged program, because it's also about understanding and applying for the exam or passing the exam.
Okay, there was a question from Shashank. He wants to see this. Yeah, go ahead, Shashank. You can ask your question.
Yes, I had just listed my question. So yeah, I'm having more than 5 years of Scrum Master experience. So can I appear for this exam? But there is only particular project management course or
No,
experience
that's not
required.
required. You need to see whether you are fulfilling the educational side. That is what you
Right.
have to do.
Okay, got it.
That is important. This is
Thank you.
something which we are not very comfortable. IEC, CD, QF, something that
Yeah,
we will
okay.
have to read upon it. In India, we just quickly map with our upper secondary and the graduate, and that's how we are familiar. Bachelor's
What is
degree.
your
That's all.
education qualification?
So I'm Bachelor of Engineering, B.
Yeah, so B, and you have 5 years, you are doing Scrum Master role, right?
Yes, sir.
There's no issue actually.
Okay, thank you.
So you will qualify, not a problem. Okay, any other questions? I'm open to any other questions you have. All this matter content is available in the release notes in PMI website for version 8. I have not picked up anything on our own. These are all material from PMI. We just put it together here to comprehend and make it easier for you to do it.
We'll make the PPT also available to you so that you can actually
So
review it.
basically understand that this is making it life easier for you to interpret how it has to be done. So don't worry about the question types. So that will make life easier. It's not difficult. We will, as of now, we are not released these new question types as of now. We'll be getting it done for the within a quarter. We will also publish it. We will have that ready.
Many people are asking that this was the current one is simple or the future one will be simple.
Yeah.
My take on this is it's going to be same actually. It's actually the project management knowledge is not changing. It just a little viewpoint is different. The knowledge is same. We grouped like A, B, C, D. Now we have grouped like P, Q, R. But that's the knowledge is still same.
Yeah.
It's not
So
changed, and nothing is getting added. Nothing is getting deleted from there. It's just like how you actually structured your knowledge. The knowledge is still same. Case study
but as
questions going to
but
be time taking. Yeah, in fact, Amol, this is the thing. Even today, you have those questions. Even today in the exam, though you have those questions, they are very wordy. They are now separately identified as case study questions. Most of the questions in PMP exams are situation, and then and to define the situation become a case. So a lot of questions even today come which are very wordy, which are now renamed as case study questions. They're going to take time. Your English should be better in that sense.
so my take on the new PMBOK, I would say, as an old practitioner, that ITTO was a very, very useful thing for me while I was delivering projects, very useful. So the process orientation, it's worth a read. It will help you to give you comfort level that you are doing things which you are, what is written there, you are able to relate to it from a day-to-day experience standpoint. Those are pretty good. There are some good examples which they have quoted now in this PMBOK to explain some of those things in the appendix sections. So just like we read other books, I think it will be worth a read to take it for you to give a comfort level, and you will enjoy it, not getting bored. You won't get bored over it, for sure. And as usual, the
Not
glossary is
getting
great.
Ned not getting as bored as you earlier used to be. Something like that.
So since you are able to relate to it much better, that's why. So
Yeah.
eight is a good read, I would say.
Yeah. And I think Kalyan just pointed out, I interrupted that glossary. I think he was talking about glossary. Right? Glossary is fantastic. So I suggest, like Kalyan and we both suggest that you must go through the glossary of which is given in PMBOK.
It helps you to come to terms with the PMI interpretation of those terms, and therefore, when you are appearing, you will be able to relate to it much more easier. Yeah, that's what is important for us. What PMI means by certain terms. That's what we have to understand. That's where it helps you. Okay, so any more questions around this? I will be happy to take it. Else, let's get ready.
You're going to take the AI one?
Yeah, let's do the polling first for the
Yeah,
AI.
let me do the polling. Yeah. That's what I was
Yeah.
asking. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So let me get a poll done first. Huh? Where's the poll? Okay, this is this first. I have two polls. So first one is here. Please
Poll, this is not AI
respond to the
driven.
poll.
This is manually done by us.
Poll is not designed by AI. It's designed by us.
Okay, so it's a very simple question. What level you are talking about AI? How much do you know? What is it all about? Well, I'm surprised. Nobody has said extensive around this. Another 5 seconds for people to.
Yeah, if I 10 seconds, I just close this.
Okay, let's close it.
Close it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
share the results. So
Yeah. So this is ending of the poll, and this is the result here.
71% beginner.
So mostly people are at a beginner level. Some people have got some maturity. So that's good actually. And
Good.
we will like the people who are at intermediate level. So please share your views when
While
things
we
will
talk
come.
about it,
So,
we would
yeah.
like to have your inputs. Yeah.
And let
Okay.
me 1 minute.
Let's move to the next one. There is one
I
more
will put
for us to
one
understand
more.
your context.
Yeah. One more. Yes. This is at your organization level. The previous one was your how you are implementing at your level. This is at the organization.
Okay. Let's publish the results for them also.
Okay. Some couple of more seconds. Please respond. Whomsoever not responded yet. Okay, I'm going to close it now. Please respond if you. Okay, I'm going to close it now. And here are the results. So
good.
Most of the organizations are experimental level, which is okay, I think. And one or two will be like a quite setup as such. So people where the organization are quite set up, we suggest them to please put your experience when Kalyan actually come up on this, right? Okay, so let's move on to the
let's talk about
I stop it.
the AI initiatives with PMI. That's all we are talking about at our end. So
please go ahead.
Our goal is to introduce whatever changes are happening at AI. So we thought of this thing also to be brought to your attention. So how many of you have heard about the AI initiatives in PMI? Anybody?
Well, that should also be a poll, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody? No, many of them are members. They are already contributing, so they would be aware of it. So, okay. Then let us talk about it for you. All of you are aware that AI is not a new jargon nowadays. It is coming into the mainstream. People are personally affected by loss of jobs. New jobs are being created. So that's what I talk as gain, depending upon your context. Are you gaining or you're facing pain, suffering pain? Depends upon which side of the coin you are, and it matters. So finally, PMI also has recognized the influence of AI and they have launched the tool PMI Infinity. I hope many of you have heard about this. If not used it, at least you have heard about it. So we are going to walk you through that component, PMI Infinity. So what
But
is
this is
Infinity?
accessible only to the members actually. Just
Yeah,
wanted to tell you.
right. As of now, it's limited access is given, or sorry, access is fully given, limited to members, PMI members. It is not open to the larger world, just like other tools. You may say Gemini, Copilot, Perspective, Claude, whatever, many names are coming through. So, so PMI was built, PMI Infinity was built by PMI as part of their AI initiative. It has taken some time for them to build it. The history of it is there, 8 years since they built it. Initially, it was let me call it as a knowledge base. So it was a knowledge base. You could ask questions, and it will throw you some answers, give you some pointers, give you some links. So then it matured over a period of time. Then it went into the assistance mode. So where it could help you create certain tasks, help you draft, just like tool here, Zoom can create AI summary for you and all that stuff. So something like that. But the beauty of PMI Infinity is it is aligned to the thought process of PMI, promoting best practices in project management. It talks about all those things which you want as a project manager. So, if I were to compare results from other chat GPT engines and PMI Infinity, I would rather give more weightage to Infinity if I am focusing on the best practices in project management, if I am focusing on aligning to PMI thought processes, PMI ways of working. Then this is a homegrown tool which has been developed by them. It is based upon their knowledge base and their efforts which they have put into it. So that's where PMI Infinity comes into uh, prominence for all of. Now, how is it built? These are the three layers in which it is done. So all of you know about it. As far as any AI framework, any LLM model you may talk about, you would go through this journey in terms of interaction and in terms of the complexity of work which the system can handle for you. So the first step, obviously, the quick wins, we all call it as automation layer. So where we want the machine to automate a lot of stuff, replace humans with automation process. So many of you would have learned about before AI came into play, there was something called as RPA, process automation, was a lot of being things which were talked about earlier. So that has all metamorphosed into something new now at the AI level. Then the next stage, progress after that, is becoming an assistant to the human supervisors. So it helps you to plan, it helps you to give some scenarios, it helps you to build some things which can be done much faster by the machine compared to what our human capabilities are. So it is a big aid for you. It's like a automated PMO. That's the next level. And the third level now is the stage where many of our AI models are all moving towards. The things are all where they start outthinking us. They are able to think more about the future. They are able to give you what if scenarios for you, which even we cannot as human beings comprehend. As human beings, we are limited to the knowledge we have, the information we have at that point of time. Whereas these machines look at the crowdsourcing, as we call it. They take the data from all the things available around the world, which is available to that machine or that platform, and then they summarize it quickly for you. So that is what is augmentation model. This is the layer where everybody is now focusing on. Everybody wants every organization, every individual looks at AI becoming my trusted partner is the right word for it. You are trusting it. Even today, if you see any AI engine running, you will see a disclaimer at the bottom. Don't take it at face value. Please do your own discretion. Please use your own intelligence to use the data what is published. That's a warning because that is a easier way for them to say don't take it for granted that what I say is God's saying or whatever it is. Don't believe me fully. You use your judgment. But as the platforms improve, they become mature, they learn more and more. What happens? They try to produce. They give you produce outputs which you couldn't even fathom. I have seen many examples which I have run. I couldn't think through those scenarios that has come through, especially in stakeholders and risk management examples. So I have seen it at my end. I don't know about others. People who all talked about AI coming into mainstream. Please feel free to share your thoughts around it. So this is where AI is moving as far as PMI Infinity is concerned. PMI Infinity has upgraded recently, and it is based upon all these foundations which I have put on the left side. It is integrated with AI learning. It is not based upon only the new tool launched blank. It is based upon a lot of knowledge base which PMI has already, around 40, 50 years of knowledge base which has been fed into that system. It's a large language model. Obviously, they are fed into it, and they have made the transformation really make it worthwhile for the project managers. So they are recommending PMI Infinity to be used more effectively, more mainstream as we call it by project managers. So we just wanted to let you know it is available for you in addition to other tools. As usual, precautions to be done because with any tool you use, you are experimenting, you are trying out new things. So be aware of all these things which we are listed out on the left side. Reliability, safety, sustainability, all of that aspect you have to take care of. Just like the guardrails we say in compliance. In any compliance topic, we have this privacy first of all, the ability to keep things in private. All those tools which we had were all public data. So people who are all working in organizations, the poll was given primarily with that context to figure out how many organizations have set up this infrastructure to make it as a private cloud and ensure data can be used uh, limited to the organization's background. So, any of you here want to share experiences? You'll be free to hear it. This is all a short introduction to AI about it. So, how many of you were aware of PMI Infinity? Heard about it, seen it, or even experimented with it? Okay, good, Lena. Want to share any experiences about it, about what could be done?
Uh,
Uh,
Good evening. Hi, Kalyan. Hi, Mr. Vivek. So my experience in PM Infinity is like for now, I'm reviewing for the PMP certification.
okay.
So I'm using it to simulate exams,
Very
especially
good.
in areas where I am very weak. So
Good, good,
that helps me a lot.
good. It
And
helps you.
also, yeah, it does. And also in getting more information, like for example, when Mr. Vivek was mentioning about the ITTO.
Yeah.
So I just use PM Infinity just to check what ITTO means. So that's a very big help for me.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
So it could be your go-to solution actually for anything around
Yes.
PMI because
Yes,
it could be
exactly.
the one
Yes.
point area for you to look at.
Yeah.
Very good. So some of you mentioned that your organization is using AI in mainstream. Do you want to share some examples, some experiences around it, which others can benefit? We could explore where we could try out, make it better. Feel free to talk, share your experiences.
Yeah, Kalyan, I would say one thing. Most people
Yeah.
will be aware, but challenge. My organization is doing all, and we have come up with a platform also, AI-based platform for developers. However, in order to provide service to specific customers, customers demand ISO 42001 certification that my company should be ISO 42001 certified. Then only we can offer the platform to them. That is where is the challenge.
Okay.
Yes.
But that's a fair ask, no? Because that certification is all about talking about privacy, data privacy.
Yes, correct. And
so that is a fair ask from them.
yeah, and the same organization who asked us for ISO 42001 certification, they want AI. They in the requirement they put up AI also as one big headline. But at the same time, they would themselves say that any internet-facing AI they will not allow within their organization.
Yeah, so that is the challenge for service providers. How do we handle it? Yeah. Okay. Maybe somebody is part of an organization where they're using it internally. Is anybody using AI as your knowledge base? Can you look at leveraging AI for building your knowledge base, organization knowledge base? Yeah, food for thought for all of you. Yes, Sridhar. Go ahead.
Sridhar.
Go ahead. You're muted. You can unmute. Yeah.
Yeah. So I work at Honeywell. So we have lots of products and many project references. So to if and I support sales while providing technical solution. So at that time, some customers have specific queries. So for searching that particular means searching for that particular query answer, we use internal AI, which has all the project database. So if it and all the product notes and product informations also, so it will search from all the database and will give one solution summary, as well as reference to the documents he referred during his search.
Very good. So this is a very good case study you are talking about, which because historically many organizations have built great knowledge bases, but the challenge was retrieval of that information. I could have 1 terabyte of data available from various project learnings and all of that stuff in various folders in my organization. How will I retrieve it quickly? Now the magic wand is this AI, which comes into play. Any chat GPT engine you can look at, generative AI tool, try to put this into your cloud platform at your end and feed this data. I think this will solve the problem for many of you have got a quick win available as a good case study for you. So thank you for sharing. That's a very good case study. Anybody else? Okay. So we just hope and encourage all of you to go through this PMI website and use that knowledge base. So earlier we used to say, go and read this material, go and read this article, webinars are posted, all of that stuff. Now I'm changing my tone. I'm saying go and use PMI Infinity. Don't read anything. Just ask a question to PMI Infinity. It will give you all those links you want. So it makes life a lot more easier for you now. You don't have to search hundreds of documents. It will even generate outputs for you. Samples, you want sample templates, you want sample checklists, all of that it will give you. So it makes life a lot more easier for us. So let's leverage it for our. Okay, thank you, Vivek. This wraps up my topics on AI.
Okay, so I think let's see if people have some questions. Otherwise we are ahead of time. We generally overshoot our time, but we are ahead of time despite covering 3 topics. So I think that way
I hope people
it
were
is
not
quite
bored.
good.
I hope people were not bored or did not get anything new coming out of it, hopefully.
I hope so. So, okay. So,
thank
any
you all
questions?
for spending time. If there is no question, we can wrap up. We'll give back time to you. So,
yes,
we are always available. During this session or later, you can reach out to us, and we are always there to interact and encourage people to come forward. I just want to leave one thought to all of you. We talked about new things here. So, anybody wants to present in this forum, any new topic, please reach out to us. We will help you, guide you through the process, and you can present your topics to the larger group.
okay. You can send your suggestions to us at you can put your suggestion on contact@pmbase.com, or you can send it to us on our phone or WhatsApp. Let me put my number here. You can take this number, you can put a WhatsApp on us, and any topic you are looking for and not covered, or you want it to cover again, or whatever your wishes, your suggestions are most welcome. And we'll try to, we have been not so regular in our webinar. It used to be every month, and we'll trying our best to come back and every month for you. Suggest your topics, and if anybody would like to present it, you are most welcome. And this is all collaborative learning by sharing, one sharing with others, another person is sharing with one. And that's how we all, this whole group is all about. Okay, so any suggestions, please suggest. Any topic you have and you want to present it, you're most welcome. Okay, so let's close Kalyan then.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Okay, so thank you very much to all of you, and for taking out time.
So look out for
Yeah.
our next announcement soon for the next session.
Yes, soon we will come back with our
Vivek.
next topic and next announcement. Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for sparing time for us coming over here. I hope this webinar was useful for you. And you have any questions, you can always post those questions to us, and we'll be happy to answer. If we don't have answer, we'll discover and try to address that. Thank you very much to all of you.